Hi, everybody. Welcome to Opposite Saxes. It's 1 o'clock, Thursday afternoon. We're here. We hope you are. Are you?
I asked her if she wanted to open the show. She says, no. And I started laughing.
And then,
So
you couldn't open it. So, hey, I got to take over.
So she opened the show.
Got it?
What can I tell you?
Can't leave them hanging.
Oh, brother.
It's going to be a great show, honey.
I think it will be. Yeah. We've been recently watching, and as I imagine most of you do, you watch the award shows. And
maybe they don't.
I would imagine most people do. And at least they watch the beginning and then they say, this is a good show, or click and put on Netflix or something else.
Which is what we should have done with the last one, the last award show.
Yeah.
Just our personal.
Yeah. I mean, is it me or that the producers and the directors and writers of some of these shows, I think they've lost it. I think.
You mean the producers or writers of the award show, and not the shows for the awards?
For instance, pacing to me, when there's dead space in between. For instance, the last show that we watched, they would call out the winner, and the winner was in the back of the room, and it took forever. There was no music, but the camera just followed them from the back of the room around to the front and up the stairs to the podium. And that is a waste of time. That to me is poor direction.
But I'm thinking that they realized they couldn't get everybody in the front. So because this time we're referring to the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
The Golden Globes, what they did was they were telling a little bit about the person that won while that person was coming up. And showing pictures of them in that show or in that movie or a while back. And to me, it was a little confusing because it kept going back and forth between seeing them and seeing what they've been in and what they've done in the past. And I don't know. I wasn't grabbed by the whole thing.
To me, an award show, a lot of it has to do with pacing. Somebody comes up, and there are some award shows where somebody starts to give their speech and they get long-winded, and the orchestra starts to play a little bit, and that's your cue. Now, they should tell every nominee, look, you will have so many seconds. There's going to be a flashing light that goes on that lets you know to wrap up your speech. But they sometimes ignore that.
This time there was no music to get them off. No, there was no music. They just kept going and going.
There was a little music because there was one person that said, wait a minute, I'm not finished. And they wanted to finish their.
But they let them go long on this particular show, I thought.
Yeah.
Because some of them were really quick and had wonderful thank you speeches, and others just rambled.
And also, wouldn't you think that they give each one of the nominees a little kind of a cue card that says, this is what you should do. Proceed to the stage quickly. Be sure to thank the key people. But some kind of guidance. And then the person gets up there and they say, oh, I didn't expect to win, so I'm not prepared. You were nominated for this award, so you have to assume that if you win it, you're going to be prepared with an acceptance speech that's going to have some kind of value or merit.
Enough of these actors and actresses see these shows, they go to these shows.
Yeah.
They should know by now. They shouldn't need a cue card. They should know what it's expected of them or what they should do.
Does it give you the impression that these are professional actors, but they are nothing without a script?
Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me
without a prompter. They learn their lines, they give their lines, and they do wonderful performances. But extemporaneously,
they're nothing.
They just ain't.
Well, have you ever seen them on the talk shows? Every once in a while, you get an actor or an actress that just doesn't say very much.
Yeah.
And it's like they're so shy and so withdrawn, and you're thinking,
And this
And
guy
you're
goes out, and on the screen he rules and conquers the world.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I think, but what I really look for, I mean, I like to see who wins. I don't like to see who loses. I feel bad. But
Oh, I kind of like to see that because they always put like the 6 nominees on the screen, you know. And you notice how when they announce the winner, I have a tendency to kind of look quickly at the other 5 people who all are very courteous by going, "Oh, how wonderful! I'm so proud of you! Congratulations!" When, damn it, I should have won.
Well, you know what? We missed something because it was in the news a few days later that Kathy Bates, she lost. And she was also a presenter. And they showed her with a terrible smirk on her face. And I guess she said something to someone, and some of the news outlets caught it.
Of course, they want
to pick up on that. I didn't see it
because that's dirty laundry.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard that she was not very pleasant after she lost.
Well, can you imagine what went through Susan Lucci's mind for 21 years? That she was nominated and didn't get
I can't imagine
an Emmy and had to sit there and smile.
So
and when they announced somebody else that won, she would sit there and she would applaud and smile.
I'd be so embarrassed. I wouldn't even go to the next few shows. I'd be afraid I wouldn't get it again.
But that would probably be the show that she would win.
Yeah, probably.
When she decided I've had it, I'm not even going to go.
What I really like to see, our daughter and myself, we love to look at the red carpets. They don't always have red carpets too much anymore, or as long as they used to be. But when I see what some of these people wear,
you wonder
who is dressing you.
I sure hope you're not paying your publicist a lot of money, because I mean the women have a tendency to come out in gowns. Some of them are very nice and fashionable. Most of them are just way outside the box. But then their fellow presenter comes out, and he's wearing an open collar shirt and maybe a jacket, maybe not. And then he's wearing loafers with no socks.
Oh, that's the thing.
Yeah, and the one thing that I picked up on the Golden Globe is I couldn't believe how many women were wearing black gloves. And the more the show went on, I wondered, was that some kind of a symbol that they were protesting something?
Yeah, you mentioned that. And
by wearing the black gloves. And I didn't see any follow-up to it.
Well, maybe some of our viewers know. If you know why everybody was wearing black, some were wearing white gloves. Unless, again, I missed something, that it's the new thing. They're bringing them back.
And if you watched that show in particular, maybe I'm being too critical, but the one dress that I absolutely could not understand was the woman, the actress from Wicked, who, when Wicked won an award, almost the whole cast came up, and she came up in a dress that normally would not be too bad look, but it looked like she forgot to take the hanger off the dress or something.
That was it stuck out.
Yeah,
but she's
had two like rods that came out of her hips.
But look at her nails.
I know.
Look at her jewelry.
But look at everybody else that was up on the stage. They all seem to be fairly nicely dressed, and then.
But she's a little outside the box.
Oh, way outside. She was way outside the building.
I thought the men looked very handsome.
Most of the men did. Yes.
Most of them did. Every once in a while, you'll get one that wears a pair of Levi's.
Yeah, you usually find that when it's the producer or the director or the writer of the
really, I think they
property. Their speeches sometimes are just a little bit typical. That these are creative people, but their speeches. I mean, if you were to be nominated for an award, I mean, you would have a speech prepared, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, well, but I'm not good extemporaneously.
Yeah, and I either that or every once in a while you would see one of them would walk up to the microphone and then
they get their phone out.
pick up their phone and get their speech in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I can understand having a little list because you want to make sure you thank your publicist, you thank your family, thank the cast members, the directors, some of the crew.
There's a lot to thank.
A lot of people to thank for it, and you want to make sure that you don't overlook somebody. And then every once in a while, and there was one, and unfortunately I don't remember, somebody comes up and they are not only well prepared with a speech, but it has been memorized. And they look at the audience and they look at the camera and they say something. And then when they finally say, thank you very much, you just, your jaw drops and you say, that was an amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? It was one of the shows that got it for best show, best drama. And I'm trying to think who it was. It was the writer. And they told him that it couldn't be made. Oh, Adrian Brody's show. This movie he starred in. He was British, I believe, the writer. And they all told him he was never going to get this movie finished. Yeah, nobody was going to pay him for it. Nobody's going to sponsor it. I think it was like 10 years in the making. And it's a long movie. It's like 3 hours. And they said for that reason alone, it's never going to fly. And here they won the Golden Globe. And he was phenomenal. You're right. Yeah. He spoke from the heart. And the other one was Bruce Willis's ex-wife.
Oh, Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. Demi, I just heard about the movie she was in.
Strange
and a strange thriller weirdo movie.
Yeah.
But we didn't realize that when she won.
Twist, yeah.
When she won the Golden Globe. And she was also from the heart. And I didn't realize she had never won anything.
Yes, we had a discussion with some friends about that and realized that going back to the 70s, really the 70s, when she was part of that group called the Brat Pack,
yeah,
and everything, she made some phenomenal movies. One of our friends said, "I can't believe she got an award for this movie, which was called The Substance, I think, But G.I. Jane, she got passed over for, which was a phenomenal physical endeavor
that was
on her
unbelievable.
part. And she was in St. Elmo's Fire. She was in a
lot
of those old.
And I am surprised. I was taken back when she said this was her first award.
Yeah. But I think that's the reason it draws some people. One of the reasons we like to watch those shows, to see how many of the movies and shows that are nominated we actually have seen or heard of, and to take notes on which ones do win some awards, and we say, you know what, we should check that series out or that movie out.
Well, I was surprised, like Adrian Brody's movie. We just saw the preview last week in the movie theater.
Yeah.
So there are things, and we're in the South. I don't know if that matters. But some of them are really late.
Date. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was maybe going to be on next year's award list.
And the season is upon us because you got the Oscars coming up, you got the Emmy Awards, People's Choice Awards, which to me, that's probably the weakest one.
You think?
I think so, because when it's up to the people, it's simply
a popularity contest.
Yeah, exactly. They don't really take into account the artistic work that the person did. Yeah. It's just because that's their favorite.
Because he's a hot guy, she's a hot woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
But
anyway, just our take.
Yes. And before we go, we would like to thank all the little people, because if it wasn't for all of you that watch our show, we wouldn't be the celebrities that we are.
We wouldn't be here.
The celebrities that we are.
In our own minds.
Yeah, I'm a legend in my own mind. Yeah. Anyway, go out, be a celebrity, be a star, and also be prepared to accept that award, okay? And then come back.
And you don't need gloves to accept it.
No. Ditch the black gloves.
See you later. Bye.